Welcome back to Streets of Toronto, and looks like we're gonna be starting with some after Group C lap times. We're gonna be time to downgrade it for each one into Super GT cars. Looks like we did an absolutely whatever we're gonna be doing for. If this is absolutely for the 9th part, we're gonna be using for the LMP1 cars as well, and down to its GT1 as well. It's because it looks like we just absolutely put ourselves into high resolution. And looks like the sun glare into Lee will be absolutely high, but the change of level is always ultra. Looks like even it's absolutely for 18 degrees Celsius, and track is 20 degrees Celsius as well. Everything is absolutely clear. The sunset is going to be clear for all the way for this time. And it's time to go all to the drive and let's start racing. So if this is not absolutely to take for a good choice, but outside of the track, where's the weather system? It's not absolutely pretty to go on. So all you have to do is gonna be using the Group C lap times into the history of motorsports as well. Starting in Mazda 787B, we'll be doing this for one time. And we're gonna be doing for a little bit. So here they come, blasting away off the track. And looks like to start all the way from right here. So if this is absolutely to take around for the most fastest laps, whatever we've seen, so hit the stop button as well, and let's gonna be taking all the way for the first gear to second gear, not using for the Group 5 that did not match to this track. So all you have to do by the 1980s, that we should introduce in some other kinds of terms by using for this track. But this is absolutely welcome to the custom area as well. Looks like we're going to be taking a slow down other kinds of GT1 race cars. I did absolutely pretty good, but most likely some Group C cars aren't able to get from matched up into this track. So all you have to do is going to be using around the second gear for the anti-oversteer. And the reason that is absolutely to take all the ways in the Midnight Racing reference to take on the third gear and blast all the way into its only one front. Using the 4th gear, we'll be absolutely letting go of the throttle and make sure it's going to be slowing down, and make sure it's going to be taking for blast all the way. Now it should be going to be taking about from 3rd gear to 2nd, and it's going to be almost likely it won't be absolutely spinning out of control because due to bad luck whatsoever. So it looks like we're going to be heading out for just a little bit and taking this very slow and about for a 1st gear to 2nd gear. Now we won't be absolutely to take up much time before it won't let this happen. It's going to be taking for a 3rd gear and making all this blast all the way into its one opportunity to take all of this great times. Now started to slow down, and against each of for a lap time as well, I might almost going to hit the wall, and this must be the slowest corner whatsoever. And it won't be gonna be necessary as always. Now looks like it's absolutely started to get oversteered at about once, and it's not gonna be taking for just a little bit. The tires are gonna be a little bit blown up and blasted all the way into 3rd gear. Welcome to the Cars 2 reference. I mean, we are officially back in Cars 2 reference, as we're doing for just a little bit. For just gonna be saying welcome back to Cars 2 reference, as we make it ourselves to make our only destination that I never able to say. Now looks like we just absolutely 1 second behind a blast all the way to 1 minute and 10 seconds, and which is absolutely to take 80 pretty easy. 1 minute and 14 faster than the Autodromo Nazionale Monza, and this is absolutely really faster than its only one kind of itself, and that was pretty faster than I really don't know, some kind of Autodromo Nazionale di Monza. Up next, we're going to be using the Jaguar XJR9. Let's do this for even, literally once again. So even for its size, it's going to be too powerful, but the most fastest lap times will be for the Sauber Mercedes C9. Is it going to be for exactly how not the quicker video it was? Now we're going to be taking around for the inside around the 2nd gear. If before this is not absolutely to take what is going to be very wrong at this one, as because we're going to be taking about for the lap times with Formula 1 car, And because this is absolutely required for Formula 1 cars for only, like I say, and this is absolutely taking for much intimidating for just a little bit. Unfortunately, we just absolutely swipe for a corner cut for whatsoever. So looks like I have to drift away from its one of the sides. And because to do for its corner cuts, that is subject to stop and all the way down into its front. Now we're going to be making things a little bit faster lap times whatsoever. If this is not going to be taking for us for just a little bit, the most fastest lap time is for the Jaguar XJR9. If this must be Jenny or some kind of Sir Madeline cookie as well. So it has absolutely to stay around for its gear 0. If this is what absolutely to take it what it was, that must be the purple Madeline cookie as well. So inside of its onboard view, let's go all the way to start and try not to do for its huge likely oversteers as once. So I suggest I'm going to be using the 3rd gear. If this is what absolutely it was extremely powerful as well, hit around for the gear 4 and made for this a little bit lap times for 630 XP for just a little bit for 2nd gear into our 3rd gear. No, we cannot do anything for just a little bit right now. Passing the Ferrari 488 GTB, we're into the gear 4 and make sure this is not very good as once. Now before this is unlikely, this is going to be taking for a little bit, 0.4 seconds behind. And the last thing that I'm never able to say, looks like we're going to be about to drift all the way down into its one front. So looks like we just absolutely made for a major power slide into our hands. Without doing for a huge power slide by using a Group C car with our exactly using for XJR9, the most powerful ways is the V12 engine society should be going to be taking a little bit more faster than in what I ever expected for just a little bit one. 0.7 seconds in behind. Looks like we're going to be taking around for a gear 2nd. Looks like it's going to be way more slower than I officially never able to do. Because like I say, we're going to be hitting around for the gear number 3rd, 1 minute and 2 seconds behind against the Mazda 787B. That was absolutely pretty intensely like I never able to say. And because the most fastest lap times will be for the Sauber Mercedes C11. Well, this is absolutely going to be taking for a very much faster than I absolutely trying to do like it could. Because of this one is absolutely taking for so much dominant for one vehicle. Let's going to be travel inside of that vehicle. And because the last time for its last part, it was almost slightly overpowered. Let's switch into other kinds of this way. When I was backing out of the pits, that causes me for a huge amount of corner cuts as well. And let's see in about for a 1 decade for an out lap for this one. If that's not sure, that is absolutely drifting around for is absolutely for a 2nd lap. If this is going to be taken for a huge fastest lap, the most fastest lap times is Jaguar XJR9. If this is what absolutely, it's never going to be a slightly happen by using reducements of the V8. The V12 is much better. That is absolutely making around for the most fastest laps that we'll ever seen about for this moment. So I'm just going to be huge power slides as we almost can't. That was even pretty kinds of notorious. So I have to cool down the tires first before we're going to be move on to start the lap times. If this is not whatever that I'm just going to be doing like this, we just made it for another major corner cut as well. And because of this only one strategy, we're doing about for street racing by using with these cars. And because the last times in race mode that I'm just going to be using for GT1LM cars, it's not pretty sure this is not going to be varied to take all of this one advantage. I'm going to be taking for around for a 0 gears, and somebody's just absolutely driving all the way backwards itself. So let's going to be moving into its 1st gear, the 2nd gear, and we'll be taking for a little bit from much, even no terrible at all. Now looks like we're going to be taking for a good lap, but I'm going to be making information about for this. Now starting in about for this only 1 lap, and taking around for this slow, and because all of this using by the Mazda 787B will be absolutely taking for just a little bit for just going to be going on one here. We may just power slide and we have to try again once and for all. it does not absolutely completely perfect, and because I do that, I made this major mistake for this a little bit one time. So I am about to try again for this one, and because all of a sudden I have to go back and restart again and make the fastest lap time that I never able to see. How outlawed vehicle is going to be taking around here first. Now looks like we're going to be heading on to the second gear and taking on to the Cars 2 reference that we should be able to turning all the way around here, and looks like hitting around for the third gear, and looks like this started all the way safer down into its one side and hit towards into the fourth gear. If this is what absolutely to take on to the first sector, 0.4 seconds ahead of us. Now looks like we're going to be taking around for the second gear to first gear that we never able to expect it run. So the Mazda 787B was absolutely doing like the same as the Mazda 787B, and because of this only one thing, that the most fastest is there's only one thing. The Sauber Mercedes doesn't able to take around for a huge advantage, even one as well. And because we're taking around for this fastest lap time, 0.3 seconds in ahead of us. So because due to it's something like it's gonna be first, how's it gonna be taking for just a little bit once? I'm just gonna be taking around for the second gear, hit the wall, and made for our next lap time as well. And because this is absolutely to take around for there's only one strategy, and we're losing around for grip, same as the Mazda for just a little bit for once as well. Same as the Mazda 787B. Let's try again. And because all of this mistake can form into a very bad lap, and because in the final corner it's not absolutely pretty good, that I never able to say it's not really gonna be pretty good as well. 0.1.0 seconds is gonna be taking for a little bit for 1 second behind to the Jaguar XJR9. So it looks like we're gonna be taking up for its first gear to second gear. Now we just absolutely taking for just a little bit at once, as before this is absolutely gonna be necessary as always. It looks like we just made a major power slide, and because all distractions goes to Ferrari for 88 GTB. Now the next thing is absolutely 0.3 seconds ahead of us, and because due to its one strategy will be taking a little bit for its one lead. So the winner should be for the Jaguar XJR9. So it looks like we're going to be heading around for a second gear, and it looks like we just absolutely blasted away 1 minute and 12.164. That was absolutely pretty faster than I ever expected. If this is absolutely to take all the way for around for like this, make sure you leave a like and subscribe and click the bell, and don't forget to click that bell. And because I got passed by over some kind of dare drivers inside of the streets of Toronto. So if that is the end of this video, but please sure to leave a like on this video or this game as well, as this game is linked on the description down below. So thanks for watching. That which will be Jefferson signing off. That was absolutely to taking for all of this to close down the streets, as we're going to be seeing around for the LMP1 lap times whatsoever, and because it was absolutely taking for a very seriously for once again. So I'm going to be talking you guys into our next video once again, that I'm going to be talking to you. It won't be absolutely going to be necessary, but over I guess.